Hello there, welcome back. I have recently been going through my dad's attic and I found his old Canon FTB camera along with a bunch of lenses. And I grabbed these three and we're going to talk about them. This video is just going to be the introduction. I'm going to talk about the build quality and the specifics of the lenses. Each lens is going to have their own video with 4K footage. Since I am a video-oriented camera user, these reviews will be video-oriented. So, if you don't want to hear about the build quality or any specifics, just click one of the links down in the description or on the video itself right now. We're going to start with this one. Canon FD 50mm 1.8 SC. The standard Nifty 50. Very standard lens, 50mm is very popular. It's a standard focal length for the full frame cameras. For MFT cameras, it's a long portrait lens, which is neat because I don't have a long portrait lens so far. The build is very cheap. You can hear this aperture ring here clicking. Sounds very cheap. It has half stops between each stop, which is useful for adjusting. The focus ring is also made of plastic and a not so grippy rubber, or I think that's actually plastic, I don't know. 180 degrees focus throw, not very much. In the further ranges this is really finicky and it's hard to miss focus, and you'll actually have to do some manual focus hunting with this. This specific one has a kind of large piece of debris stuck in it. And a lot of dust. These are all very dusty. I'm going to show you this one. Just going to take my flashlight here and shine it through. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can see the dust inside there. You can't really see it in the pictures or the video because, well, you can only really see them if you close the aperture down. The aperture, by the way, has 5 blades. Let's see if we can get them. Okay, are you focusing? The camera isn't focusing. There we go. It is focused now. You can see the 5 blades, they are slightly rounded. Still. Yeah. There's not really much to say else about this one. Let's move on to... Oh yeah, by the way, the lens hood is also broken. It locks into both directions, but it doesn't really lock into place, which is kind of a problem when you... I like to grab the lenses by the lens hood. Doesn't work so well with this one. So, yeah, have to take care. Still, the lens hood does its job. Let's move to this Tokina 28mm 2.8. This one has a much better build quality. Listen to that aperture ring click. Oh, it's beautiful. It doesn't have a half stop between 11 and 16, but all the other ones does have half stops. This aperture has 8 blades. Don't know if you can see it. Wait. It's a very small aperture. The focus throw on this one, by the way, is almost 360 degrees. Here's the furthest, here's the closest. Very good. Very good focus. Runs very smooth. No uneven resistances. The rubber is much more grippy. Other than this, not much to talk about. It's of course also dusty. 28mm is, for the full frame cameras, a wide angle. But for an MFT it is exactly between a standard lens and a short portrait lens, which makes this lens very unsuited for what I want to do with it. I have a 25mm 1.7 automatic lens on the camera right now, which I use for most stuff, and this focal length 28mm is just not very suitable for me, sadly. I also like to put this screw-on lens hood on there, which I happen to have laying around. and that's the Tokina. And the next is also a Tokina, which is this 200 millimeters 3.5. Also very beautiful aperture clicking. Same build quality. You also don't have a half stop between 16 and 22. What a shame. It has a built-in lens hood. Also a very long focus throw. But for long lenses such as the 200mm, that's really good. This one on my camera, by the way, becomes a 400mm equivalent. If I were to put this teleconverter on there, it would become an 800mm equivalent. All absolutely insane. It's very hard to control. I shouldn't use my monopod with this. I should use my tripod with this exclusively. The shaking is just too much. It does have a ding here. Here, there's a ding in the lens hood, in the integrated lens hood. You can see it. And there's a scratch on the front glass element. I don't know if you can see it. It's very hard for me even to spot. It scratched the coating, which is kind of sad. So I'll actually have to, actually I don't have to do anything because I tried to get the flare to act up in videos and I couldn't do it. It's just too hard, too little to notice. Very good lens nonetheless. And now we're going to look at them with the adapters. I have this MFT adapter with a little stand foot and a 1/4 inch threading, which is necessary for this big hulking thing. But sadly, this little foot makes it impossible to use a normal quick release plate in my normal 1/4 inch threading of my camera. Kind of damn stupid, hate it. So I have this normal adapter here. Works just as well. We put this one on there. I actually don't like the MFT mount, FD mount. It's very finicky. But then again, these people back then needed to use the mechanical controls. Like, for example, you can actually control the aperture over this one, over this little lever. Yeah, it's just practical. But I prefer adjusting the aperture on the lens itself. So, this was that. You can click on the links down in the description, and I will see you there. Until then, yeah, drop by.